Hello everyone, and welcome to an Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, hate the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. One Hour with Dave.
Good afternoon, everybody, and God bless you all. Welcome once again to an Hour with Dave. I'm glad to be here one more time with you, and I'm looking forward to talking to you about a few topics that keep coming up on a regular basis. So we're going to get into the different topics, but first I want to say, if we can send our prayers out. On the way in, I ran into a young man that was just laid out in the street. Just laid out. And I was amazed as I pulled up to see what was wrong with him, how many people literally just walked on by him. How many people driving just drove by him. Nobody stopped to see if this man was bleeding, was having a seizure, had a problem with drugs. Nothing. It was absolutely nothing. They just drove by. And as human beings, and it's going to get into some of the topics of what we have to talk about today. This leads into it. As human beings, I got to tell you that we should be humanly respectful to an individual. No one knew what was wrong with this man. Just laid out in the middle of the street in a parking area, and people walked by. And people drove by. And nobody stopped. Are we getting to a point that we're not caring about another person, another human being? Is everything in a day-to-day becoming so important that we're disregarding the life of another person, whether it be a little girl, an older lady or man, whether it be somebody in a car accident, or somebody like this gentleman that I finally got a name out of him while I waited for rescue with him, was named Mike. Couldn't get anything else out of him. Was he on drugs? I don't know. Did he appear to be? No. To me, he could have maybe had a seizure or something else. But that's not the point. The point is people literally walked past him. That I find disgusting. I don't think as human beings, no matter what's happening in the world, no matter what's happening in the day-to-day, we should stop and listen to somebody. We should stop and help somebody. That could have been somebody's brother, sister, father, son. You don't know. And you walked past them. You ought to be ashamed of yourself as a human being to walk past and seeing a man lay there, and you don't at least try to call 911. I stood out there with this young man to help him. One person driving stopped. One. That is the most unbelievable thing that I've seen today. That you are so busy and so involved with yourself that you don't see the pain and the suffering of somebody else. My God, you can't be that busy. You can't be that ignorant. But everybody that walked by and drove by should realize someday you're going to answer to a much higher power. And I hope he reminds you of that man laying in the street. Because I'm not a Bible philosophist. I'm not so, but I remember some story about a rich man helping another man out that he found along the side of a road. And he took him, as busy as he might have been, he took him in and got him a place and got him attention and paid for everything. Didn't leave him laying on the road like what happened today. And he took it upon himself to take money and everything out of his pocket to take care of that man. And all you had to do was dial 911. Wow. I hope everyone that's out there that's listening to me can put it out there on their website. And I hope that everybody that passed by here can feel as stupid as they should feel, as ignorant as they should feel for walking past that man. God bless you, Mike.
My prayers are with you. And I know that everybody's listening to me. Their prayers are with you because you deserve better. And I'm going to tell you now, even the ones that walked past you, if they were in that same circumstance, I still would stop and help them because that's me. Okay, let's get into what's happening today. Today, I want to talk to you about several things that are going on in the air. One thing is, did anybody catch President Biden falling 3 times, tripping, going up the stairs? I mean, it's out there. You probably didn't see it a lot because, CNN, MSNBC, all that nonsense of theirs with their little clonies and their shadows shadowing in the dark. I remember when President Trump had a trouble walking down the ramp, CNN and MSNBC and all them, they had oh my God, it was amazing how they said he had everything going wrong from Alzheimer's to loss of balance to medical injuries to neural injuries. How could he be president? His legs weren't working. They could have been. Everybody became an expert and everybody criticized him. But you heard nothing. Question. And I'm going to tell you something. I don't want Biden to be hurt. I don't want that. Don't get it misconstrued. It. Don't put words in my mouth because I'm going to tell you if you do, you have something smart to say, come on my radio show. Anybody from CNN, MSNBC, Congress, whoever. You want to question what I'm saying? Come on the show. But don't take it. Don't put something out there or put words in my mouth because I'll call you on it. I don't care who you are. I don't fear you. Okay? I've always opened my mic to the mayor and the governor and whoever else, or any other clown that thinks he's gonna come in and be able to out-talk me or bring a point. I don't have a problem with it. We can go one-on-one. It's okay with me all the way up to President Biden, and I'll make sure that it's an area where he can walk and he doesn't stumble. Okay. But anyway, when Trump had a problem walking down, I want everybody to look, go back, see the clips. They had an enormous, a fury of people literally talking about everything everybody became a specialist on CNN and MSNBC and all the other stations. They became a specialist. By the time they were done, him not being able to walk exactly, and he didn't fall or trip down this ramp, had him with loss of mind, didn't control himself, couldn't walk, couldn't balance, shouldn't be president. But boy, when this happened to Biden, you'd have had nothing. Nothing said. Nothing at all. You didn't hear nothing. That is, if you put these 2 times together, now you can see they should put both of these tapes together right next to the word of hypocrisy in the dictionary so you can tap into it and see the difference. Because, you guys are CNN, a bunch of clowns. You know that. I'm going to tell you right now. Any one of you can come on my radio show and prove me wrong. I don't have a problem with it. I mean, but yeah, they didn't get on nobody asked, how Biden is, and you should have asked because I don't want to see anybody fall. Biden or the man that I found in the street today. And just like you ignored the situation with Biden, I guess you could ignore the man in the street. Nobody bothered to make sure he didn't crawl in a little bit further out and get run over. Nobody. So, the hypocrisy got to stop. The nonsense got to stop. Your BS has got to stop. You're disgusting. America, you're getting disgusting. Both parties are getting disgusting. Okay? Both of you. This control that the networks have and the supposed superpowers or whatever they want to, super clowns want to call themselves in the network, news network, you're all a joke. Because I come out and tell you the truth. I don't care what party you're with. I'll tell you exactly what you need to hear. And if you don't like it, tough. Can't do nothing to me. Like I say, you love me, you love me. You hate me, you hate me. It don't make a difference to me. I'm not looking for anybody's approval for what I have to say. because you're going to hear it. If you don't like it, just don't tune in. That's all. What's the big deal? You have to understand that I don't care if you tune in or you don't. I don't care if you listen to my show and then criticize. I can live with that. I can live with that. I really can. But we're going to get into, in the next 3 segments, one of the things is immigration, what's happening there, because it's super important. The other thing I've had several people talk to me about the economy, what's happening in the economy, what's going on in the economy. And that's one of the other issues we want to talk about today. What's happening out there? Other people are asking about the what's happening not only with the stimulus bill, are they not going to mandate people taking the COVID-19 vaccinations? And I want you to take, when we go on break, to get your drink, your cup of coffee, whatever, and think about this. A little seed for you to think about just for a second. If you got kids out there, your kids cannot carry the virus. Your kids do not spread the virus. Yet they want you to inject your kid with a vaccine that's not even approved because it's experimental. Every one of these vaccines that they're giving out is experimental. Look it up. I keep telling you people, look it up. Every one of the vaccines says experimental. So we're going to get ready to go on break. And when we come back, the first thing I'm going to talk about is the immigration piece. Then we're going to get into the vaccine piece. Unless, I guess, the economy, unless anybody out there has a comment, then we can talk about what's happening. Ready? God bless. Grab it. Hurry up. See you in 60 seconds. Hello, everyone, and welcome to an hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, hate the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. 1 hour with Dave.
Welcome back, everybody, and God bless you. Remember, once again, any comments made by me or any of my guests on my show is strictly mine and my guests, not necessarily the comments or anything to do with Usula Media. Again, it's mine and mine only. My responsibility. Okay? You love me, you love me. You hate me, you hate me. It's okay. I can live with it either way around. But I'm still going to love you, and I'm still going to tell you the truth. We got a comment there. What was our comment? Let me talk to my guy here. What was that? Cold Blackfire, what should we do? What can be done by regular, everyday people? About what? When you were talking about the gentleman outside, what should we do? What can be done by regular, everyday people? About the gentleman outside. Cold Blackfire. That's the name of the guy that asked. Okay. Okay. If you're asking what can you do, is not walk away from somebody that you see laid out in the street. It doesn't take much to pick up that phone or look at somebody and say, is he or she breathing? Is he or she having a seizure? Is he or she on drugs? It doesn't matter if they're having a seizure as opposed to them having a drug overdose, as opposed to, I don't know, a neurological stroke or something. Is there a difference? Just pick up the damn phone and dial 911. It's not complicated. Okay? It's simple. 911. And stand there with the person till they get the help they need. And that's it. Okay? Any other comments before we move on? Right? Okay, well, Cold Black Friday was Pastor Phil. I don't know what he exactly wants to know about Cold Black Friday.
Oh, okay. Pastor Phil. Well, Pastor Phil, that's what I was referring to, because this man was laid out in the street when I came up the road, and people were literally walking past him. And he was laid out not only on the sidewalk, but actually in the street itself. The phone was about a half a foot away from him. Um, when I came to him, he didn't look like he was having any kind of a drug issue. It looked more like he could have been having some kind of seizure. And I don't think that it's how can I put it? I don't think that it's right for people to just walk by another human being and leave him laying in the street. And you went about your business. Like, really? You went about your business and left a man laying in the street? Well, Pastor, I know Pastor Phil personally, and there's no way on God's earth Pastor Phil would have left him laying there. So, anything else before I move on, my brother?
Orlando Acosta says, "Is the United States a corporation, not a government?"
Mr. Acosta wants to know if the United States is a corporation or a government. Mr. Acosta, the United States of America is a country. United States is a government. Okay, it's the United States is a corporation. United States of America is a country. That's what it boils down to. There's a people have the mistaken, and I'm not an expert at this, everyone, but people have the mistaken ideology that the United States is just a country, and the United States is really is a corporation. And you need to look into it. You need to find the proper resources for it. But there's certain things you can do to protect yourself. It has to do with you getting your control of your birth certificate. It has to do with you getting incorporated. It has to do with you understanding what the rights of your birth certificates are. Because every time you make, like, for example, you sign something with your name, you're literally giving another individual or a corporation the right to control what you're doing. So there is a lot to it. Again, I'm not the expert at it. I don't have all the answers. If you need me to, I could try to bring people on that can explain this better to you. It might sound bizarre to you that I say the United States. Listen to what I'm saying. United States is a corporation. United States of America is a country. There's two different things there. And that's very important because you have to know to maneuver yourself legally and properly and not be taken advantage of. You have to know the difference. Okay? Anything else before I go on? Okay, there's a couple more, but while he gets it together, I want to talk a little bit about what's going on in Tijuana, Mexico. What's going on along our borders? Okay, right now, there's so many illegal immigrants along the border seeking sanctuary, and so many children that were unaccompanied by an adult that the beds are filled. The Biden administration and you clowns over there in Washington need to get your act together. Won't tell America, and you won't, and now all its protectiveness from CNN and MSNBC, and I keep ragging on them because they're a joke. Okay, you had Cuomo interview his own brother. What do you expect them to do? Talk about anything besides what their mother made for dinner? Really? What they had for dinner? What's happening along the holidays? I don't want to mention their mother because that's not fair. I'm sorry about that comment. What do you expect two brothers? If I put my brother on the radio, yeah, I'm going to dog him, all right. I'm going to ask him a hard question. Why your two socks are different? Come on.
can't expect CNN, whose brother is an anchor, to do anything or put anything negative about Cuomo. And you're actually following these clowns. Anyway, right now, ISIS is spending $86 million in hotel rooms for immigrants because they have no beds. What is wrong with you people out here? If they're spending money in these hotel rooms, your monies, is because they don't have anywhere else to put them. It's not rocket science. 33,000 plus illegal immigrants are held past the 72 hours they're supposed to. Now they're so busy on the border where they don't have time to chase down all the illegal drugs that are coming over. Because they got to worry about these kids who are coming over and are abused. Kids who are being abused and raped along the way. They're little kids. Little kids, children. They could be your children at the age of your kids. You can't be that busy in your life that you can't stop and see what's going on around you. The devil is running rampant along the streets. And you're falling right into his play. Evil is all around you. You need to wake up. Stop being ignorant and stop being stupid. These kids are being abused. Now, in the last few days, a day, each day, they're letting 150 or more illegal immigrants go that they're catching them across the border. You ready? I want to show you something. They're letting 150 of them go. And when they let them go, you know why? Because they can't process them. So they're fingerprinting them, putting into the data banks, and they let them go and tell them wherever you wind up at, make sure you go to ICE and report so ICE can give you a court day. Well, if I just robbed you and broke the law, and you tell me, just give me your name and I'm going to let you go, and you go turn yourself in. Yep, you keep waiting for that, sucker. You keep waiting for me to do that, because it ain't happening. Tijuana, Mexico has 1,000 families along the California border, or border of California. The entrance is about like you cross over the bridge from Tijuana and you're in the United States. Not the corporation and the country, okay? 1,000 of them that are just sitting there. And they're waiting. And get this, they all have Biden t-shirts on. A lot of them, as you see when they're walking off the border, have Biden t-shirts on, and they're waving humongous Biden flags. Now you tell me it's not a setup. Of course it is. This is Biden's camp. Biden and his administration is his camp. Because if it happened under the Trump administration, them Democrats would have been, if there were men that were giving birth to their goldstones. I mean, if you had the images that I've gotten, and I'm going to ask my engineer next time if I could send him the images and he put them on the screen for you. Because I'm going to tell you something. If you've seen the images from the information and the resources I have, it will turn your stomach to see what's happening with these kids. I want you to think about this. They come across 3 countries, and they'll come across probably, I would say, Honduras, Ecuador, El Salvador, into Mexico.
And then they're put into cages. Cages where the dog, almost the same system as the SPCA for their dogs and their cats. They're thrown in there. Nobody can see them. Like animals. Then they're released into your society. Better yet, rumors have it that they, what's that camp in Cuba? If anybody knows the camp in Cuba, where they held the prisoners from the Muslim prisoners. Can't remember for the life of me the name of it, but they literally are transporting the children, homeless children there. They say, I want Guantanamo Bay. Okay, that's the name of it, Guantanamo Bay. And if rumors have it correctly, and I don't want to put it out until I actually see it to tell you, yes, it's true, no, it's not true. I'm not CNN, I'm not NBC, I'm going to tell you. But they're starting to say that we're transporting kids to there. Wow. If that's true, could you imagine these people or these children walk through 3 countries, 4 countries if you include Mexico, to get to here, get put in a cage, then get put on a bus, then get put on a plane, and they're thinking, wow, when these wheels land, I'm going to be free. And you come out and you wind up in Guantanamo Bay. Wow. Surprise, surprise, surprise. If you make it down through all these borders in these countries without something else happening to you. We're going to go on break in 2 minutes. But when we do go on break and we come back, we're going to talk about the vaccines. I think that's very important because I keep getting a lot of questions about these vaccines, what's happening to them, what's going on, how we can do them. And people want to know what's happening with the economy. They want things to be opened up and they want things to be going better. And what are the lies and some of the fictions and some of the things that are going on? And that's going to be pretty surprising to you what's going on. So let's get ready to take our break. And I'll get back to you in 60 seconds and we can talk about the vaccines. God bless. Hello, everyone, and welcome to an Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, hate the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. 1 Hour with Dave.
All right, everybody. We're back. Once again, remember, any comments on my station, on my show, is on An Hour with Dave is mine and mine only. Any guests that come on is mine and my guests. It's not the opinion of Usula Media. Hate me, you hate me. You love me, you love me. Either way, I'm good with it. You know, and hate me. Send me a hate mail. I can deal with it. I deal with it every day. I don't have a problem with it. Any questions before we go into the next segment?
Okay, we have Solomon Miller. What's in the vaccine?
There's a gentleman called Solomon on the phone, actually on the set, and I'm not laughing at you yourself, Solomon. I'm laughing at because I get asked these questions, and I'm not a doctor, but I can tell you that there's 3 vaccines that are out. One of them is Johnson & Johnson, Moderna. I forget the name of the first one. But there's 3 out. Again, there's rumors out about different things that are in them. There's rumors even going up to saying that they somehow change your DNA. I don't know how much that's true because I'm not a scientist. I'm not a doctor. What I can tell you, unless it's changed in the last 24 hours or so, last I looked, none of these vaccines are approved by the FDA. They're all emergency vaccines for emergency use.
I do say to you, if you think about this, you've been lied to over and over and over again by Saatchi, by the Food and Drug Administration, by the CDC. How it started, when it started, how did it get here, how was it spread? Okay, and you got people using the pandemic as a political tool. And we're going to get into this, okay? First of all, remember that none of them are approved. All of them are approved for emergency status. What makes them what? What they want to know what makes the vaccine safe? Nothing. Personally, nothing. Am I taking it? Nope. Do I think people may need it? Yeah, I think people may need it. People who are at high risk. Teachers union, I just said people who are high risk. Okay. We're being held in this country by lies. See, the CDC was told by scientists. They asked what's the distance needed to keep people safe from this vaccine. They were told 3 to 6 feet would do it, anywhere around there. Well, the CDC decided, or the government decided, well, 6 feet or better. So now everybody from unions to teachers unions to offices to supermarkets, everybody decided you have to be at least 6 feet. So for starters, they did not say 6 feet or better. Okay? They did not say that. The government decided, your government decided, that it was best, and your leaders, your scientific world, and your the people at the CDC and all that, they decided that, maybe we should do this. And then it became a political game. First, you had Trump in office, who said, I didn't want to scare everybody out there. See, I can tell you that I don't care what party you're with. I get on your, I almost slipped. I get on your case no matter what. Okay? First they said, he didn't want to give up the information. Trump said, I don't want to panic anybody till we kind of get a better idea of what's happening. Well, of course, that gave, the other side and its media supporters fuel to say Trump lied to America. No, he didn't. Listen to what the man said. He's not a politician, okay? He did one great job when he was there. And anyone that wants to challenge it, come on the show. You're too scared, put on a hoodie and glasses and a mustache and zoom in. If you're too scared to come on and talk about things, zoom in. Now, you can prove me wrong. I don't have a problem being wrong. Zoom in. We'll give you a big mustache and guys that hang out in the whole bit. We got them here. Our engineer will hook you up. Don't worry about it. He'll hook you up. By the time you're done, you're going to look like, I don't know. Trust me, they won't recognize you. Oh, he's stopping me again.
Pastor Phil said the the ACLU proved it's true that there's kids in Guantanamo Bay and proved they are being abused.
Well, Pastor Phil would never call a liar because I love him. Pastor Phil said he must have looked it up. Trust me. He said, but it is true that they're holding people in Guantanamo Bay. Isn't that something? You're running away from a communist military dictatorship to freedom of the United States, and they fly your ass to Guantanamo Bay in Cuba.
How ironic could that be? Oh my God. Anyway, so thank you, Pastor Phil, for that information. And if anybody wants to challenge it, like I said, look it up. Prove me wrong. Prove Pastor Phil wrong. Prove Mr. Acosta, Mr. Solomon wrong in what I'm saying. I don't have a problem with it, man. I'll take your challenge. Trust me. I'm not a chump. I'm not scared. I'm too old school. So back to the vaccines. So now you have people in the government taking advantage of it, and then you got unions. Check this out. If the kids don't carry the virus and the kids don't spread it, and they only have to be 3 feet away, and they don't, how is it that the most people that died were senior citizens with some other kind of issue medically besides the coronavirus? How is it that most of the deaths in New York City and all the other places were seniors? So why the hell were schools closed? Why? Why is it that now, we got a pandemic and we're going to get into this budget and the union's being paid when they ain't doing anything? Well, I'm going to tell you what should happen is instead of giving all that money to the union for going back to work, who said, we're not going back to work now, get it? Until all the children are vaccinated. Let me explain to you something. They're not guaranteeing jack about this virus. There's adults that are taking it and are dying. That number, you're not being given. You're not being told how many people are dying. You're not really being explained what's in it. And now they want you to inject your kid with it who can't get the virus. How stupid can a parent be? And they're going to vaccinate them, and most likely if they don't get them all done, they're going to tell you your kid can't go to school anyway. Because the union doesn't want it.
I have a question from Justine Acosta. Are the vaccines safe for people who suffer with paralysis?
No. It's the question is, are the vaccines safe for people who suffer from paralysis? In a lot of cases, no. There's certain diseases that cause the paralysis on people, and them individuals are not should not take that. And that's my opinion. Again, I'm not a doctor, but certain people with certain diseases can't take because certain paralysis and certain issues that affect their immune system, their bodies can't resist a problem if it comes up from the vaccine. So you should not have that the vaccine. But it's my opinion. Listen, if you're going to inject your kids with the stuff, you might be dumb enough to inject yourself with it. I don't know. Talk to your doctor, and even when the doctor tells you, yes, go ahead, I would check into it anyway. Because the doctor tells you, you want your left hand to stop hurting, I need to cut off your right. If you're stupid enough to do it, then guess what? Okay, so we're going back to the vaccine. and yeah, this is getting nuts, right? It's getting crazy. I look at my engineer every day, and I thank God for him because he's the greatest thing that happened. He really makes me look good, and he handles a lot of things out there. But I'm gonna tell you, it's scary out here. It's scary. When they tell you they want to inject your child with this vaccine, you better think about it. How did they all of a sudden, seniors that were the most dying, certain organizations got put ahead of them? And now think about what's happening. If your president has bowed down to the teachers union, is he going to honestly be able to face Putin? Is he going to be able to face China? Korea? Man, I bet you that sucker wouldn't have been able to even put up against, I don't know. Who's in charge of Cuba right now? Castro family, right? I know this president wouldn't have been able to deal with Castro because, was Obama watching a baseball game in Cuba. Yeah, that did us a lot. Doing the wave at a baseball game. This administration is a trip, dude. First of all, you better think about when you have a man who every other time he speaks, refers to the vice president as the president. President Kamara. President. I don't know if he's trying to give us a message about the next election, or does he not know where he's at, or who actually the president is. Maybe he thinks he's the CEO and she's the president. I don't know. Maybe he thinks he's the chairman of the board and she's the president. It's weird because you don't know where this guy's coming from. I mean, even in his campaign, he didn't know what state he was in. He doesn't remember the name of his person who's in charge of his military. He doesn't know the name. and you want to take his word for something. I don't know who's more poor of a judgment. I mean, here's a man who literally, I think it was this week he did it again. He referred to the vice president as the president. It's not been the first time. Google it, people. It's not been the first time. He literally made fun of Trump for not being able to walk down the ramp. I wonder if he realizes that he couldn't get up them steps. I would wonder a lot about these things and about these people. And let me tell you, it's scary. I obviously would not personally take the vaccine, and I wouldn't let my kids take the vaccine. That's totally up to you guys. Talk to your doctors, do the research, please. Write, read. We have. I'll get back to it on the next segment. I think it's better because I want to get into what's happening with technology and what's happening with everything. I'll see you in 30 seconds, 60 seconds, and we'll talk about what's happening.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to an Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, hate the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. One Hour with Dave.
Welcome back, everybody, and I love you again, and I care about you. Remember that you're on an Hour with Dave, and I'm on Usula Media, and any comments made by me or any of my guests, but today it's by me and a lot of people that are calling up because my engineer tells me the switchboard is going berserk. Are minds and minds alone, and not that of Usula Media, and definitely not that of my engineer and my producer. Okay, remember that. Can I go on, or do you have something you want me to address that's out there?
Mr. Orlando Costa says, is our jail privately run as a corporation business or ground destination?
Is what?
Are jails, prisons, privately run as a corporation business ground destination?
Are the jails in this country run as a business or a corporation? Everything in the U.S. is a corporation. Prisons, medical centers, anything that has a contract, anything run in the U.S. is it's a corporation. You are a corporation. Okay? Many moons ago. Again, I'm not the one with all this information. Look it up, people. Look it up.
Get in front of the people that know what it is. Next time I'm going to give you a couple websites that you can go to and a couple people you can reach out to that can tell you what I'm talking about and explain it to you. The U.S., not the USA, the U.S. is a corporation. You are a corporation. Your birth certificate, your information, all that is you. they took loans on you. It's hard to explain. I need to have the people there for you to explain it to you. Okay? Because trust me, if you can't get through about these children and getting them vaccinated, it's going to be a little harder for you to understand what's happening with the corporation. The U.S. is a corporation, meaning everything that's involved. The government, the other countries, all this, the monies, everything is part of a corporation. And you are part of that, unless you take control of yourself. You own your name. You own your status. You own your own corporation. You need to get your own LLC. You need to get your own corporation. You need to own your name. You need to own your name. You see, you don't own it till you claim it. Oh my God, what's David saying now? Trust me. Listen. Reach out to certain people. Until you claim your name, you're not really you. You're a property. You're owned. And I'm not talking about slavery. Please don't come at me with that, because I don't have time for your nonsense with that. I'm talking about you as a corporation. Okay? All right. Move on. Oh.
Pastor Phil wants to know when I'm going to have people here.
Okay, now I'm being asked when I'm gonna have the people here to do that. I'm gonna see how I line this up to have certain people come in, even if they come in on Zoom, because it's all around the country, and see how I can get them to explain to you and give you information and leads onto websites or groups or organizations that can help you walk through this and get you to understand it more. But I promise you, I'll talk to my producer and my producer/engineer, and I'll see when we can do this, because we already have a locked in amount of people that are coming on, different parties, different organizations. Next week, I believe, is Bletsix that's coming on here in Philadelphia with a beautiful, sweet friend of mine's, Daphne Goggins, who passed away to COVID. Was the head of in Pennsylvania or Philadelphia, for Bletsix. She did a wonderful job, and now there's another new young lady who has taken her side, her position. Not looking to fill her shoes, but capable of taking control of what's happening and moving Bletsix forward. Bletsix is an incredible organization. So I believe they're going to be on next week. I have to double check, see what our schedules are. But yeah, definitely I would do what I can to get people on to talk about what is the U.S. and what is the USA. 5 minutes? Okay, so we don't have a lot of time. So basically what I have to say is, when it comes to the border, there's a crisis. They're not telling you that. And you know how you're calling in and you're lighting up my switchboard? Maybe you need to do the same thing and call out the people that are telling you that it's not when it is. And Biden, maybe you could stumble your way to the border. I don't know. You think you can stumble over to the border someday and figure out what's going on over there? Or maybe you should send the president, Biden. Send President Harris over. You know, at least ask her as the president to go over and see what's going on. You know, what's happening with these kids. And when it comes to the vaccine, people, please Read, look into it, pay attention. Come on. These are your kids you're talking about. You know, we're going to lose more kids on education this year than ever. And if the crisis is that bad on the border and they're bringing them in and you're letting them go, what's going to happen to the jobs? We got a lot of things going on. We need somebody in there to figure out who in Washington, for God's sake, is the president. Is it her or is it him? Who's the president? Or is it Pelosi? Maybe it's Schumer. I don't know. You don't know. Obviously, he doesn't know. It's serious. We have a serious problem when the man can't figure out what he is. We have a problem. The guy doesn't know where he is, who he is, what his position is. I guess he wakes up in the morning and he reads a script and said, oh, I'm the president. Maybe he doesn't realize the president of what? This is serious. Biden, if you don't think you're president, at least send the president over to the border. Maybe she can make sense of this. But he fell, and then you asked his speaker, and you asked her, and I don't know, I've been advised. Well, who the hell is running the country if nobody knows who's doing what? This is dangerous. We got a serious problem, and you got to stop worrying about the $1,400 stimulus check and figure out what's going to happen. Because the more this crisis grows in the border, it's not about the immigrants. It's about, while they're so busy dealing with this, what's coming across. That's the danger here. You're worried about that $1,400 to do what? Go buy another Chinese television set? The latest phone for $700, $800, for $1,000? Is that what are you going to do with it? And teachers union, you know what? These suckers don't need to get paid any more money. We're bailing out cities who has misused money from the city's retirement plan. And we are bailing them out. That problem was there before COVID. The city mismanagement of funds were mismanaged before COVID, but they suckered you and giving you $1,400 while they're giving millions to the governors to hand out to the cities and they misused their funds, retirement funds. Look it up. I got 1 minute to tell you something. I know I say things and some people may get pissed off. I hope it does piss you off because that means you're listening and I'm hitting something smart. I'm hitting a nerve. And there's people that are listening and pay attention. God bless you. We need to come together, people. We need to get back to loving God, believing in God, believing in a higher power. Because if we don't, it's going to get worse out here for all of us. I love you guys. Take care. Before I go, what's up? Oh, it's Pastor Phil's birthday, everyone. And Pastor Phil also became the ward leader in Ward 42 in Philadelphia for the Republican Party. So please don't throw oranges and stuff at him. But he's a good man. A happy birthday, Pastor Phil. I didn't know it was your birthday. I don't know. What is he, 60 now? Does it say? No? 60, 70, somewhere along there? I don't know. Anyway, happy birthday, Pastor Phil. We love you. Take care. God bless you, people. I know the hour went fast, but we'll give you a list of what's coming up next time. Take care. Love you. God bless.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to An Hour with Dave, a straight shooting talk show that doesn't hold anything back. You either love the show, hate the show, love me, hate me, doesn't matter, but it's the show you want to watch. 1 Hour with Dave.